Hello everyone, back to another part of the bathroom renovation for wheelchair access. As you can see, the double sink and the cabinets are out. I did that yesterday afternoon. Did it with minimal damage really. One thing I used was this oscillating type of tool. Kind of cut along that seam just to kind of get it break free from the sheetrock a little bit. You don't really need the tool to do that. You could use a sheetrock saw or something, you know, a nice knife, something like that to kind of just cut that free. The reason I mention that is because you see a lot of DIY TV shows and they go in with sledgehammers and start to just kind of beat stuff up. And all that's really going to do is just beat up all this sheetrock and maybe even rip up some of the sheetrock. And that's just more stuff that you're going to have to repair. So, you know, any advice I can give is just take your time on a demolition. Just, you know, cut those things out. I pulled it out real easily, kind of slid it down and was able to lift it out. It was kind of just sitting there on its own weight. So, you know, just kind of think about that if you're going to go ahead and do that. So another thing, this morning my wife went and cut this sheetrock out to kind of get an idea where the studs were and exposed the plumbing. And as you can see, there's the valves that I had mentioned on the last video that have turned off. And you can see the plumbing coming up through the support stud right there. That white that you see across the bottom, that's actually the bottom of the shower in the master bedroom next door. So that plumbing actually comes up through that floor, splits off, goes the length of the shower all the way to a little linen closet, and then picks up the shower from there. And the reason I know that is we had a leak a few years ago and we had to cut that sheetrock out to get access to the plumbing. So. But it's pretty interesting how it all routes around. But, of course, the plan is to take these valves out and then take these along and come through the studs. And we're either going to put it up through here or up through this one yet. We're not 100% sure. That's the reason my wife didn't cut the sheetrock out any higher. We're going to make a template of that sink that I showed in the last video and place it and kind of figure out exactly where we're going to want that to set. And then that's going to determine how much more we got to cut out to put the backing in. And then how to get the plumbing. And of course, we're going to cut these off, tee across, and then come back up, have the valves come out of the wall, brand new valves, and then we'll be ready to set those to get the new sink on and then do the hookups for that. This also gives you a good shot of the drain. This is a unique thing too. So this drain actually goes down into the floor, probably picks up the drain from the shower and the master bedroom sink, and is all under this floor. And I mean, the options are pretty limited here. One option is to, and I really don't want to do this with a pipe of this diameter, this is a pretty big diameter pipe, is to cut this back to the wall and then have it come up through the floor here. And don't really want to do that because then it matters of cutting the sheetrock out, pulling up floor, taking a pipe of that diameter through the floor supports, and I don't really want to cut that much of a diameter in to bring it back up. So the plan is kind of cut this back, put some kind of really nice sleeve on here, and then do chrome piping and kind of run it just real tight to this wall to where we're going to end up. Put the trap in and then have it come back up to the sink. And what that would do is, as my daughter would go underneath the sink with her wheelchair, she wouldn't be bumping into the pipes. It'd be tight against that wall, and then she would kind of like, you know, straddle past the trap right there. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. But that's going to be a little challenging, but I think we're going to get there okay. We'll be able to get everything. There's lots of kits and stuff with elbows and all kinds of connectors for that. So that shouldn't be too hard to find what we need there. So I just wanted to show you where we are. My wife is actually at the Home Depot now. She's looking at some flooring. Since we have an idea of flooring, we're going to have to get all this linoleum ripped up and maybe put some kind of layment down over top of that wood. But so far the wood's looking pretty good. So I'm hoping as we pull it up, we're not going to have any other issues. So, but kind of the next steps is to make the template for the sink, get it on the wall, figure out where we're going to put that, get the sheetrock cut out where we need it, here or here, get the backing in, and then kind of get the plumbing all set in its place, and then get that sink mounted. So that's the plan so far. So I just wanted to show you where we were if you're following along. And I said, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any advice, I said, this is, we've been doing lots of renovations over the years, but we're still just DIYers, so if anybody has any advice, feel free to leave some comments, and we're certainly willing to check them out and maybe help each other along. All right, so once we move on, we'll get to the next part and see where we are. Everybody take care.